Hello my lovelies, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Here we are with a second first impressions using some new goodies that I picked up at Sephora during my VIB sale haul. And you know, we've already done this once before, but there was so much in that box that I thought, you know what, let's put some more newness on together. So voiceover chit chat style, let's go ahead and throw this on my face and just spend some time together playing with makeup. So let's go ahead and start by using the Laneige Lip Treatment Balm. This is definitely new for me. I mean, new concept and everything with this little stick applicator. It's innovative. It's just that, I don't know. I guess I find it kind of weird. And I figured I'm not going to use this. Well, I was seriously wrong. So I had to kind of dig with my finger. I prefer to go in with my finger than the little applicator. But whenever a product is new, it's really stiff. And here's where I was having a really hard time getting product. Like it was super thin to where I was like, what's happening? It's like the powder, no powder version of this right here. Like it's the lip balm, no lip balm. Where's the product? So I thought, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use the applicator. Oh my goodness. Key factor right there. It was so amazing once I used it. It got enough product, it was tingling, it was cooling. There's a sensation that was kind of nice, and I did like it once I got a little more used to it. So let's go ahead and go in with the Jouer High Coverage Concealer. I am clumsy and I can drop stuff all over the place, but this is actually my second or third time using this, so this isn't totally a first impressions, but I really wanted to play with it on camera because I wanted to show you how I use it. I've used it a couple of different ways, and the whole high coverage thing I think is very hyped up, at least for me. Maybe my circles have gotten darker, I don't know, but I definitely, that lip thing is really good. Can you tell? I'm still going with that. So here's the thing with this concealer is that the times that I've used it, I had used it with a sponge and it was really shearing it out. But typically with a high coverage concealer, I have to go in with a sponge or else it's too cakey. Not so the case with this. And let me tell you that this Rare Beauty brush, or probably any brush, is key for, at least for me, for applying this concealer. This is the best way that I found that I got the whole quote unquote high coverage factor. But again, to have to work at it like that, and I don't know, I guess I wasn't as impressed as I thought I was going to be. But brush is hands down the way to go. It was like the light bulb had gone off. I was like, okay, this is it. So again, use your brush, don't use a sponge. And that's my take on it anyways. Next, I'm going to go in with the Dior Backstage powder, no powder. I did use this in my first impressions, but it's the only powder I purchased in this haul. Y'all, I'm still with that lip thing. So it's the only powder that I purchased, so I figured, okay, let's use it again. And I'm not even joking. If you don't have a mirror in front of you, which at this point I don't, you will not know that you're putting powder on your face. You don't feel it. You can't see it if you don't have a mirror close up. And it's like, am I even getting anything on my face? And I remember I had that happen the first time around as well. So that being said, if you're not paying attention, you can totally go overboard. I feel like I've worn down all of the Dior, not embossment, but the little logo on the powder. I've worn it down because I keep on going to town with rubbing that brush in the powder. But once I look up close, I'm like, wow, it's so pretty. Let's go in with the Kosas Airbrow Fluff and Hold Treatment Gel. So packaging, spot on, and is, should I be embarrassed to say that it's pretty much the primary reason I picked this product up? I've heard people say that they compare it to the Glossier Boy Brow. I've never used that one, so I don't know. I can't compare. But what I have found about this brow gel is that it makes my brows a little, maybe it's the fluffing texture. I don't know. It makes them a little, not harder, but they look messy. I don't know. Maybe it's the tint. There's something about it, and I can't really put my finger on it. It's not as clean as I would like my brows to be, and that's one thing I love about a pencil, is that I can be a little bit more precise. I just like my whole brow freeze pencil type combination, and I don't know, just not feeling this. At least not yet anyways. So I could take it or leave it, quite frankly. Let's go in with the Kaja Play Bento Blendable Sculpting Trio. I picked mine up in the shade 01, which is Butter Up. It's the lightest of the three, and I am so excited about this cream bronzer. Cream bronzers for me are just my favorite. It's the best way to use a bronzer, at least for me anyways. Keep on talking about my skin type. It's just, I love how a cream bronzer looks, and I definitely prefer over powder. This was very easy to work with, and in fact, if you are my skin tone, you could use this one, or you could easily use shade number 2 as well. I will likely eventually pick up shade number 2 because I love the blush in that one. Highlight looked slightly deep, but I do think the bronzer, because it is a cream, would be very forgiving. This one, it's lovely on my skin, but it does run a little bit light, and because again it's cream, it'll sheer out a little bit and it'll look lighter even still. So definitely love the bronzer. It's compact, it comes in a one-stop shop, and again, I think 1 or 2 would be suitable for my skin tone. So in case you are my same skin tone, just know you could probably use either one. Let's go in with the Love Sprung palette. This is volume 2, which is the deeper of the two. And I have used the first one, so I kind of wanted to play with this one just to kind of see what I thought. But given the look I'm going to do for the eyes, I wanted to go in with the shade Infatuated. And let me tell you, these are so super powdery. And I used a denser blush brush than usual, so wowzers, I picked up so much product. I was like, no, now I'm going to have so much work. And I didn't do it once. Obviously, I did it twice. I did it with both cheeks, you guys. Now, let me tell you, as much of a serious situation that it looked like it was going to be, the blendability was so easy. Like, so easy. I was shocked because I really thought I had my work cut out for me. Usually when that happens, you know. But just showing you the kick up in the pan, it's quite a bit. It's very powdery. Let's move in with Angel Energy. That is the luminous blush, which I have discovered, well, at least with the light one, I love layering the luminous blush over one of the others. It doesn't look like all that in the pan. It actually looks kind of ugly in the pan, but once you put it on, it is so lovely. It gives a luminous sheen that you could probably forego the highlight and still have a very glowy cheek. So let's go back to the Kaja stack, and we're going to go in with the highlight. Now, when I bought this, I thought this is going to be a highlight that sits on top of my skin. I can already tell. And I was 1000% wrong. This one blends into the skin so nicely. Now, I think I made a good choice with going with the lightest version because I don't know that the highlight in number 2 would be as lovely as far as like sinking into the skin, but I gotta say, this has such a twinkle. It's just absolutely lovely. It's kind of in between subtle and I'm here with 1,000, wattage, but it's absolutely beautiful. So glad that I picked this stack up, especially for the highlight. So let's play with eyeshadow, my favorite part. I'm going to use the Caramel Brown palette by Huda. This is the one I feel like spoke to me the most. And these never have names, so forgive me that I'm not going to give you shade names, but I will tell you what I'm using. This is an IT Cosmetics blending brush. So we're going to go ahead and go in with the second row, the matte in the second row, and this is going to be the, I guess, transition shade. I always say transition shade, crease shade, whatever the technical term is, quite frankly. So the mattes in this palette are lovely. I was so happy because already my expectations are low because of what I have heard and seen about these palettes. I bought them anyway, going into it knowing that, they weren't performing that great for people. So now I'm going to go in with the deeper shade, the deeper chocolate brown, on the lower right hand corner. So this is going to be what I use to deepen up. I'm going to place this with a Real Techniques real tiny blending brush right under the shade I just placed, and I have loved doing this method, like just taking my steps of crease and then a little bit lower and then whatever's left kind of bringing it down, and on the outer portion it's just really been working for me and I've enjoyed it. So it's kind of one of those things where once you find what you like, you kind of stick to it for a while. So I'm sorry guys if it's same old eyeshadow looks for a little bit, but I'm really loving it. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and take some also on the inner portion, almost kind of doing a halo eye. Not almost, doing a halo eye. But this brown is so flattering. Well, at least for my skin tone and my eye color, so flattering. I love it. It's got like an orangey type of tone that maybe that's just me. I'm horrible at describing scents and colors, but going in with the Fenty Pro Filter Eye Primer, I don't even have to say it anymore, but I will in case you're new. This is always the primer I use when I'm trying to lay down a tacky base for like a metallic shade or a shimmery shade, because this will help it pop, take it to the next level. And I had already heard again that some of these shades were dull, so I knew they needed help. So going in with that top left-hand corner shade, which is that swirly zebra looking shade. This is very, very thin. It is everything people said about it. It's a little lackluster. It's thin. It's like a topper, maybe even less impressive than a topper, but it worked. And I think, though, that the Fenty primer, again, it's a tacky base. It really helped it quite a bit. And I went in with low expectations. So I wasn't disappointed by the result. I actually think it turned out really pretty. But yes, it is true what everyone is saying about that one shade. It's not up to its full potential. It could be so much more. But that's okay. It's not a deal breaker for me. So I'm going to go into the orangey shade, the matte that's on the upper right-hand corner, and this is going to be what I put on my lower lash line. I didn't use this up in my crease or anything. Usually I try to pair everything so it, all comes together nicely, but that shade was just calling to me and I really wanted to try it out. And it was lovely, just as lovely as the other mattes I used. So of course, always do my mascara and lashes off camera because it takes me a while. But going back in with the Fenty Pro Filter in my inner corner. And there really is no highlight shade in the palette. So I did go in with the Twinkle Lights highlighter from my Kaja stack, just because the pink shift in that highlight is almost undetectable. It's there, but it's not a heavy pink shift, which I love so much because I'm not a big pink shift highlighter type of girl. So I knew this would work perfectly as my inner corner highlight because it wouldn't pull too pink, and it would be more of a neutral shade to bring out the shades on my lid already. That sounded confusing. I think I even confused myself. Y'all know I don't usually do brow bone highlight, but I'm definitely doing it this time. Going in with, I think it's called Vintage Rose. It's a Milani lip liner that I love. I love this line of lip liners. I just need to buy more, but very creamy, easy to use. But because I'm going to use a gloss and really nothing else, I did want to line and add just a little bit of color to my lips, just a little bit of a shading. So I'm going to go in with the Duo, the cream, what is it? The Gloss Bomb Cream Double Take. Now, it comes with two, a hot pink and a very lovely rosy pink, and obviously for this look, the rosy pink is what works. It's called Cupcakin, and I don't really have high expectations for this because I'm not a fan of the Gloss Bomb, but these shades called my name, and I really did want to try the cream version, so I did pick this one up. It ended up being a good deal for the two. You know what, I didn't price it. Maybe it'd be the same price if I bought two separate ones. I found that I actually really like this version. It didn't wear super long on me. I feel like the lip liner is what really remained. But for a little while, it was very shiny, very comfortable. There are glosses that I do like better, but I don't dislike it as much as the regular Gloss Bomb. And that about wraps it up, you guys. I hope you found it helpful and I hope you enjoyed. Alrighty, my lovelies. Well, that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a little bit of fun just putting on some makeup and chatting about these products with me. Hope you found it helpful. So before I let you go, I just want to give you a very quick verse of the day, just in an effort to motivate you, encourage you, and to tell you that Jesus loves you. Today's comes from Psalm 37:3, and it says, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness." If there's anything you can count on, it's that God is so faithful. He is amazing day in and day out. And it is my prayer that if you don't already know him as your Lord and Savior, that he would just make himself so evident to you, so real to you. If you've been questioning if he is real, that he would answer that question in a way that you would have absolutely no doubt that he is real and loves you so very much, more than any other human being could ever love you. So with that, we will close out this video. Thanks again for stopping by. I love each and every one of you so very much, regardless that I don't know you, but I love you. Jesus loves you so much more though, and I hope you remember that. Have a great rest of your day, my friends. Until the next one, please stay safe and stay well. See you soon. Bye.